Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Taoiseach, the Dublin Monaghan bombing was the single biggest atrocity in one day in the entirety of the Troubles. 33 people killed in bombings that loyalist paramilitaries admittedly carried out, almost certainly with the collusion of the British government. Now, you should ask for Britain to release all the files and information available about those atrocities, but of course you're in a very weak position to make such demands of Keir Starmer if the Irish authorities, and the Gardaí specifically, which they are, refuse to give the files in their possession about those bombings, which the families of the victims of the bombings in 1974 have asked repeatedly for. Relatives of the victims of this atrocity have had to go to the High Court now to try and get the Gardaí down here, the Garda Commissioner, who is refusing to give the Police Ombudsman of Northern Ireland and the Newham operation the files they have on the 1974 Dublin Monaghan bombings. Now that stinks to high heaven. And it means we have no credibility asking the British government, which we should, to release the files they have on their outrageous collusion with the paramilitaries who carried out those massacres. But the Garda Commissioner down here won't give, despite repeated requests, legal action by the relatives, will not give Operation Newham the files they have on the bombings.
Thank you, Deputy.
Please explain that and please do something about it.
Thank you, Deputy.
In terms of, and I would say more generally around the legacy issue, I've watched Say Nothing on the Disney Channel, and there's a whole lot of issues of bombings, murder, kidnapping of Jean McConville, where there's been no real attempt at closure, no real attempt at reconciliation, no attempt to say what happened was wrong. And it was, if you look at the episode on the bombing of the Old Bailey, 200 innocent British people injured and maimed. Like, what was all that about? So I think we do need to deal with legacy in the most comprehensive way. I think it's striking we haven't had a debate on Canova in this House. There's a comprehensive report. It deals with collusion between the state, the British state, and loyalist paramilitaries in the murder of innocent people, and indeed of others. But it also deals with the campaign of the Provisional IRA in terms of against its own people, as Canova describes it. But this House hasn't even had a debate on that, and that's something we should consider in terms of the comprehensive aspect of dealing with legacy, because it does matter for future generations that these issues are properly teased out in terms of the use of violence for political ends. On Dublin Monaghan, I'm very clear that any material we have should be given to any inquiry. Just hear me out, please, a second. It has happened already where bespoke legislation was passed in respect of Kingsmills, for example, and where the judge there did pay tribute to the Irish government. I'm clear, and I've been saying to the Minister for Justice and the Minister's predecessor, that in respect to the Omagh bombing, again, there's an inquiry up and running.
Thanks, Taoiseach.
That information should be provided by our government and our Department of Justice in particular to that. And just to make the point that on the Dublin Monaghan bombing, it was previous Fianna Fáil governments that led the way in terms of inquiries into the Dublin Monaghan bombing. And we know the outcome of the various reports in terms of access to the British files.
Thanks,
on that. I think others, I don't have time for the other deputies. Deputy Daly raised the energy market and the energy question. Yeah, I think I just want to say it was the meeting was a preparatory meeting for the summit, which is happening in March, which will be comprehensive, which will cover a wide range of issues, which will involve a number of ministers, and also obviously the security situation in Europe was discussed, as well as Northern Ireland and legacy.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.